jump right into the match, guys.
And so we have Soul Striker versus Bardock Xeno.
Right.
And this Bardock Xeno is the multicolor Xeno, right? It has some new support from the actually, well, it has some new support actually upcoming
It's from that set.
from the new set.
But yeah. So exactly.
So Striker's on 3 energy, and he has his baby unison out already. We're seeing that this is blue yellow, and we're going to 3 energy on Bardock. So Bardock already has now 3 colors in his energy area. Technically 4 colors if you count black. So you have black, red, yellow, and green is what it looks like. So right now Bardock is already going to be a very effective leader. He swings and draws,
Right.
and he gets 5k on the unawakened side. Um, and I feel like honestly this is going to be a decent matchup for Soul Striker because of the fact that Soul Striker is able to awaken very early. There's just a few cards that I see Aspera has already dropped or used. A Trunks God Setting. That's going to be extremely important in this matchup, especially if we're talking about the use of the 8-drop Gogeta Xeno, as well as the Gogeta Xeno thwarting the Dark Empire,
Right.
as well as the potential Prismatic 10-drop that comes out for 5 energy and he can burn for. He has quadruple strike, etc. So if he's running cards like this in his deck that can prove to be an issue, so Striker definitely plays a great neutral game, which is the terminology that's used in the FGC community, right? What's
Correct.
that? However, neutral game is not going to be as effective against a deck like Bardock, multicolor Bardock, when we're talking about his ability to control the game in ways of amalgamating all of the color identities that he's able to see and use.
Correct. So we see that which looks like that Trunks that can be comboed in the energy area, and that's pretty good because you see that paired up with the unison. So that's a pretty good strategy, guys. So we're looking at a mono blue list.
No, this is blue yellow, and definitely blue yellow.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Yep. Looking at a blue yellow list. Sorry, guys. And it's looking like the go-to blue yellow list that we've been seeing around.
Right, we saw this at Nats.
Which is a very, very powerful list. And he's at 4 energy. So this guy is tapped out, and blue is just going to be able to just, do what it does. Try and control the game as much as possible. And we're probably going to see an arrival here.
Yeah, and this could be a dual attack, which
Correct.
puts him to the bottom of the deck now. That's a perfect combo. Not only did you get rid of the board, but now you're going to be able to pressure him. He's going to have to defend this, and then take damage. Now Soul Striker is going to be able to ready up 2 energy, as if he never used anything out all this turn, and Bardock is going to have to defend. And it's the reason why Bardock really kind of wanted to leave one of the green energies open for his floodgate, just because of the fact that you want to force your opponent to use cards like God Sealing Trunks, especially so, right? If you leave the energy open, you drop your floodgate. What happens now is that you have a choice. You can either God Sealing me or proceed with the restraints on your turn. Either way, that's important because hey, if I'm going to take damage, I want to be able to get my big cards out. That's really going to control the flow of the game as we move forward. There's literally no way for blue to deal with thwarting outside of God Sealing. And now he's going to have to metabolize 2 dual attacks. And this is rough. If he drops a bean on this, which obviously he goes ahead and does, then it becomes really, really difficult. So now he's going to have to just deal with a 24k attacker. This is not just a 5k hit. You have to combo over with a super combo. If not, it's going to be rough. And he still has access to 3 energy as well as potential energy manipulation.
Correct.
This is going to eat down Bardock's hand a lot. And this is rough. I think on the second attack, you go ahead and take yourself to 3 life and say, what do you have for me? Just because you have to stay in the game as well. Yep, and he goes ahead and takes the damage.
Right. We are looking at, Aspera. He does have 7 life, and that's big because he's already applying the pressure. His opponent's already at what, 3 life,
Right.
and you know, he has a pretty healthy hand, and this is what Soul Striker loves to do. Loves to awaken high life. He's playing the super combos that allows him to, you know, that allows to be played during any of the
phases of the game, technically.
Correct.
Right? Like,
and we see him charging this card, and when it's charged, he gets to take a random card from his opponent's hand and place it to the bottom of the deck, and then he gets to draw a card.
That's good.
That's pretty good. Hopefully, you hit the baby hatch.
He goes.
But also, one of the cool things about Bardock being at 4 energy is the fact that now his effects is it's all of his effects is live.
Right,
So
so
he's
he
gonna
gets
be able to untap that
energy, which would have been extremely effective last turn. He
turn,
also had
correct.
access to Sinzu Bean himself, which would then give him the ability to use his floodgate, his green floodgate, if it's needed, which it will indefinitely be needed next turn, considering that he has access to 4 attacks just on board alone.
Right.
What's also scary is that his unison. His unison is going to have, what, 5 markers? Goes ahead and gets baby hatched. That's really rough for him. But that also definitely allows the Bardock player to make a very, very more detailed turn. And the reason why I say that is because he didn't invest energy in cards. He didn't invest energy in an aggressive strategy. He just swung, and this is what I like to do, guys. You got to make sure that when you're swinging out, you want to test the waters first, right? You don't want to give your opponent too much information, and so that was actually really good. The only thing I would say that I wish he did was not do the plus on his unison just yet. I would have waited for my unison, and I would have swung with the leader. This would allow you to draw cards, see some options. Now you got baby hatched. You can go -2 on the unison, tax your opponent for attacking, since you're obviously going to try to kill, and then leave all of your energy open so that you can have ways of defending yourself next turn. You see what I'm saying?
Correct. Exactly.
And who cares about losing, you know, that 1 card, because what you lost in 1 card, your opponent loses in 2 if he chooses to attack twice with combo. He loses in 3 if he attacks with his baby hatch, and so forth and so on. So I just wish that he would have gotten the proper stimulus first and gotten the proper you know, just sequence that just a little bit better. You want to, before you use anything, you want to use your cost-free effects first, right? Leader swing is costless. You swing, you get a card, you know what you're doing.
Right. So it's kind of weird, just looking at full control, but thank God he didn't invest any energy yet.
Yes.
So now he has energy. He can't have that floodgate, and this floodgate will be very powerful.
So he does have topos, but he gets rid of the green, which means that this is kind of rough, because now that he's gotten rid of the green one, you know that he doesn't have the other. There goes that 10-drop Prismatic, right? Is that the card that he just pitched? Yeah.
No, that's not it. That's the yellow one.
Is that the yellow one?
I think that's the one that you combo. That's the 3-drop yellow one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, man, I'm loving that. So he goes Barrier of Hope, draws 2 cards, returns topo. Now this is kind of interesting. Are you going to pop the topo? Wow, you just gave him another floodgate back to his hand. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It says choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. You don't return the topo to their hand, unless of course you want them. And so there's a lot of things that can happen beneath the surface of the game, what you see. He has to pitch 2 cards for this, and can we get, this is interesting, if we can get a bean open, we can get another topo, and that would just really, honestly, I mean, this is something that Espira has to do, right? You just have to attack. You have to lose one card with your leader in order to untap 2, technically, which is not horrible, but it definitely, and there we go, bean, whoa, not beaning up the red. I guess you saved the topo for the next turn, right? You gave.
Well, he's already topo, so now if he has that green, he can whatchamacallit.
I like that.
And at this point, you kind of just want to punish him for attacking, anyways.
Yeah. So then bean wasn't necessary. Bean wasn't necessary. I mean, right now we're at 3 life, and to the opponent's 7, and it's just like, whoa. At this point, from that point of view, you don't want to risk the card like bean unless you anticipate your opponent is going to be attacking. So he has 5 energy up, I believe, or is that 4? That's 4 energy up, right? 4. So he doesn't have access to what you call it, to a baby a Golden Avenger.
Right.
Because had that been a thing, that just would be rough. To use it defensively, especially with 7 life, you're okay with topping out. You have access to, D magic, etc. He has access to Kefla potentially, so this can be really rough. Bardock has to, and this is very scary because Bardock right now, in order to stay in the game, he goes ahead and charges a green multicolor. Because had that been a thing. So Bardock really has to play a certain level of neutral game. I think right here is where you swing with leader first, get some stimulus. If you get a floodgate like Oceanus or something, there you have it. That's gonna negate and allow him to floodgate his opponent in ways of having him tax his hand if he attacks with battle cards greater than his energy course, which is kind of important because in this deck you do have options like thwarting, etc. Counter, he goes counter play. That is awesome.
And this is going to cause him to, I think he also has this Scarter card with this. I forget. No.
Just the one energy
20k
card.
or less.
Yes.
It's just a really good
Which
card.
is really important, especially for the thing. So he goes ahead and attacks. And we're gonna D-Magic, take the life, untap 2 energy. Now this is scary because if you play an additional card, you're gonna have to deal with, baby, potentially.
Right.
If he has the baby. And this is kind of what we anticipated, right? You want to make sure that you're removing some markers off that unison because if he's able to bring that out, and here he goes, he ended up pulling the God Ceiling.
Yeah.
The God Ceiling is really rough because it's going to stop his floodgate.
I am curious to see if he plays the 6-star draw thwarting in the deck because you can fuse with the 219Ks, so that would be amazing because not only would he be able to
get rid of Baby Hatch,
you just have an extra line of orphans.
Even though I'll be honest with you, Baby Hatch isn't even really the issue. The issue is Kaba, right? The issue is Kaba because even though Baby Hatch is a definite damage, Kaba is a different type of card. Goes ahead for the overwhelm. Now this is good because he's gonna force out the God Ceiling here. Forces out the God Ceiling.
Thank you guys so much for the follow.
God Ceiling, yes. So that shuts out his baby. Now this is good for him because you want to make sure that if you're able to stay in the game, you cannot contest God Ceiling, right? If you're gonna topo, you need to have, and he tapped the red energy for the counterplay, which is why hopefully he has another bean. If not, topo doesn't even matter. But he's really using energy.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so weird because when we're looking at...
Wait, okay, he goes infused. Ooh, thwarting. Okay, now
thwarting.
this was good. And there we go, goes for the thwarting, swings into, I would go into the unison. Okay.
And Espira's gonna go ahead and just take the life.
And get rid of the baby. That's fine. That's fine.
The cool thing about seeing this Bardock deck, it's just no one thinks the deck is good, so it's just interesting to see it being played, and see it trying to do things. Because I actually was testing this deck, and I couldn't have much success with it. So really curious to see what it does.
He ended his turn and he didn't untap the red energy. That's interesting. That's kind of scary for me because now Espira doesn't have to think about sequencing his attacks, right? He doesn't have to say, oh, okay, let me drop this battle card first, then attack with lead, get topoed, so that way I can choose to see how.
He does have a green open, and a green would be much better than the topo because he doesn't have to pitch.
Well, but the topo,
and on top of that, you only just get one attack. So even with unison or what have you.
Right, but I just think that the topo is effective because of the fact that one, topo is going to tax his hand, which brings him back down to earth a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now we're looking at Espira, and it's so hard to commentate his side of the game because it's still looking so strong.
It's so solid.
It just shows, it speaks for itself. He has the ability to untap 2 energy. He has his unison out, could -1, I think, a -5 if he didn't uptake already. And baby would be live. He also has another dual attack card. So it is pretty strong, and we could see a baby coming down. Which
look, and he does have the Golden Avenger, which is actually pretty nuts.
Now, so.
We anticipated that. And so this could be it.
I think what you do here is you don't negate, you take the attack, you bean, And
yeah, but see, the thing about Espira is that he's already prepared. He has the golden ape, so he goes ahead and beam, which is important. And this is so these players are actually playing at really high levels right now. You know, just anticipating that he has too much energy open. If I pop the negate, I'm dead. That's just rough. Goes ahead and attacks with Kaba. Now this is really strong because Kaba has two choices. Kaba can either go into the unison or he can go into the lead. But if he goes into the lead, Kaba's gonna have to invest cards, right? And using something like a Senzu Bean is not effective unless, of course, you're untapping energy.
And he goes ahead and combos the Draw Ape, and this is good.
This is really good.
Ooh, and we're gonna see a Kefla.
Oh, we may see a Kefla. This is scary.
Yeah, and we see a Kefla come out.
Oh,
Arrival.
this is rough. Okay.
And he has the counter play. The
Okay, wow, that was incredible. Has the Zamasu open. It's gonna rest the Kefla, which is really important. Now, Kefla can still tap out his green energy, which is scary.
If he pitches another Kefla.
Yes, but again, goes ahead and draw. This is interesting now. So now, Espira has options. He
does have another Kefla in his hand. But if he chooses to attack first, which would be weird, he can topo him without him being able to baby. He's screaming in my ear. He can topo him.
I'm sorry, it's the caffeine. We're having some green tea right now. You know, the caffeine is busting. Yo, guys, thank you so much. If you're not following this page, go ahead and follow us. Like, what are y'all doing?
All right, guys. You see it here.
Espira is still sitting pretty with 5 life. I mean, this is such an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Goes ahead and uses his first super combo of the game.
But we see how things can change. He gets to next turn, and he summons that 5-drop. It could spell.
Pitches the Kefla.
Yeah.
He pitches the Kefla, rest the green energy. That's what we anticipated. And now he's probably going to swing with lead. Untap the 2 energy. This is scary now. This is very scary because he can just hard cast Ape. He can literally just hard cast Ape at this point if he wanted to.
Right.
I mean, it depends. Strayn, is he running sparking negates like power burst?
And black does get better next set with the free basically
the blocker,
sparking negate, the blocker negate,
assisting the Dark Empire.
Right, it's really powerful.
Here we go. Goes ahead, whoa.
He's gonna summon another. Oh, he's gonna summon another Kefla. No,
he's pitched one. There you go.
Okay.
Now this is interesting. Do you just ape? Now, do you just ape and pass?
I think you tap too. I think you're in no rush.
You just he left it. Oh, so he's saying I'm going to
ape you
on your turn.
Yeah, right.
And this is what's so scary. What I don't know is you have to -2 on the Bardock unison this turn. No matter what you can do, you have to -2 on the Bardock unison.
Espira's hand is only looking at like it's at 5 cards in hand, so
yes,
it's not
so
terrible.
You have to.
But he's at 5 cards in hand as well.
But he's also at 5 life. So Espira is very much in the game.
Right.
If Espira drops, turning the tide, which is funny because the only thing he would be turning is whatever tide that this guy is fighting back against. He would literally win the game.
So
turning the tide wins the game for him.
And Espira knows he really can't
do anything about this because he wants to scare his opponent right now. Just having the energy open is a threat, leaves a immense threat perception against his opponent, right?
He takes the life because why not?
Why not?
Draws another D magic. That's so broken. 16k.
And so now he's sequencing better. He's attacking. He's getting some stimulus before he even touches Bardock.
16k to lead. I'm assuming.
Can you zoom into this?
No. He's at 6 energy. I don't know, man. His hand power was so low, and he has to find a way
full shrouded
to get rid of that Kefla.
There we go, and there we go, turning the tide, and this means now that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he has to win this turn or he loses.
Well, no, he can turn in the tide, and he can still Zamasu and rest out the dual attack. But yeah, because I mean, if he doesn't do nothing about that baby unit,
there's just nothing that he can do. There's absolutely nothing that he can do against the turning the tide.
Well, he can Zamasu. He will draw the card on the crack afterwards. And I don't think attacking the... Well, I guess. This will incentivize him to not turn in the tide yet.
No, I mean, if turning the tide means that you win, then you just win.
Yeah, I think his unison's at 4, so hopefully he doesn't have another baby.
This is rough.
Or it's
though.
just insta game.
Did he floodgate the unison?
I don't know.
I mean, you have a floodgate.
Oh wow, if he floodgated,
that would be
amazing because he can't attack unless he pitches a card. So if he's
Right.
turning the tide,
Right.
you can't attack with your battle
So
card.
floodgate would automatically shut off turning the tide,
Yeah.
and that would be
you see
really
Bardock
good.
just playing at such a downhill battery.
I just really hope
This-
he floodgated.
Blue is just so powerful, so strong, right? Just at what it's doing.
I mean, Espira did go first in this game as well, which definitely took a lot of, you know, Bardock's ability to gather a good footing in the game, right? You know, like once you hit turn 3, wow, this is rough. So he's gonna overwhelm.
Yeah.
And see, if you overwhelm and then you drop turning the tide, I mean, there's literally nothing you can do if he didn't floodgate. If he floodgated, now this is incredible.
Yeah, but if he floodgated in Espira, it's just definitely not going to turn in the tide. I don't think
Right.
so.
But he didn't floodgate.
He
and
didn't
this is
floodgate,
game.
and
This is game.
so if we see a Zamasu here, this could be good.
I mean, he does have a. Oh, he does. And he
Wow.
lost the ape and drop. He lost the ape and drop, as well. Yeah, this is game. This is game. I just wish he would have floodgated. I hope he did. I really hope he did. Because what would happen is that he still has a double strike attacker, but what would happen is that Unison can attack, right, and Lead can attack. So Unison is gonna +1. Lead is gonna +1. Now you do have Zamasu to combo out of attacks, but your biggest threat is Kefla.
Right.
She's a double strike. You can go ahead and take the damage. Oh, he went into the unison. So did he? Full shrouded. Oh, so he did pitch. He pitched, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's so rough. Okay, he has to pitch a card, but he has the combo power on board. This is game over.
She has double strike?
She has double strike.
Wow.
Oh wow. And that was played perfectly. So he did floodgate
So he attacked into the unison, drew the card.
to stop him from getting the card in his hand, then hit him. So if he would have had the Zamasu for that, this would have been perfect because he would have added a card to his hand and he would have added an additional 10k on board, rested out the double strike. Now there's no way that you can beat me outside of that.
Just good game, guys. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so
That's that. Espira going ahead and taking that set. He was in the driver's seat most of the match. You know, the burden of responsibility to really carry this match was Strayn. Strayn had to show us whether or not he was going to be able to reverse that momentum.